that one spot, you know. Ow.
And we are live.
Yes, we
Welcome
are.
to our live show. If you are just joining us for the first time,
This is March 25th, 2014.
not 2013.
Yeah, I got to get the year right this time.
Give our little chat here a little second to refresh. Gonna read through some comments real quick, see if there's any pressing questions that I need to answer.
I want to answer one. 1000M Chief for everyone. What would be the two coolest guns to dual wield? One for indoor, another for outdoor. I would personally suggest for CQB, two P90s would be pretty awesome because it's still easy to go around corners and it's actually pretty comfortable.
For outdoor, if you don't use a Barrett 50 cal and dual wield that, then you clearly don't understand the purpose of dual wielding. So that would be my suggestion to everyone playing Airsoft, is that I just watched The Hurt Locker, or not just watched, I rewatched it.
Good recovery.
And there's the part where they are in the desert and they're wielding the 50 cal.
You can't dual wield.
No, he wasn't dual wielding, but I think it's still Ralph, and you told me it's Rafe, but the actor.
We'd have to IMDb it.
Yeah. Anyway, the actor. I'm not sure how to say his last name, but he takes the 50 cal and he gets shot, and then anyway, the 50 cal just looks really cool. But we'll start the show off by showing this. Oh, sorry about that.
It's in front of me, so
I didn't muzzle flash him, but this is one of our new customs, so we will get to this a little later in the show. But we just wanted to show that off because it looks really nice.
Not only this, but it actually comes with two extra uppers, so you're going to be able to switch this between CQB, field, and was it DMR?
It comes with three uppers, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that later
a little bit. So. But we just wanted to show that, give you a little taste, and let you come back for dessert in a little bit. So,
well said.
But let's go ahead and get into some of the promos that we have going on. Actually, here we go. What is your favorite camo?
I've actually said this before. My favorite camo is personally ATAX. Now, I don't believe any real military units use it, but I like it because the foliage version of ATAX looks almost exactly the same as the camo that the Rebels wore in Return of the Jedi on the forest moon of Endor. It's not Endor, it's the forest moon of Endor. So yeah, that's why I like ATAX.
That's well said.
Yeah.
All right, so the first promo.
Sorry, there's been a lot of people that are saying, like, Bob, grow some facial hair, Yasser Sharifa, grow a beard, Bob. Thanks, Ross. You're making me feel like a little underwhelming.
Bob told me the story one time that I was really happy to hear that I guess there's some people that are getting beard implants.
Oh, yeah.
As in, when people get hair plugs, they're getting beard implants.
That's in New York. It's like hipster central New York. They want to get that full-on real hipster beard, I guess.
I think that's the greatest thing ever. If any of you guys have ever seen Arrested Development where he gets the plug.
Yeah.
So, anyway, if you can just have a nice...
They're paying between $5 to $10 grand to get beard implants.
Okay, if you ever want to be hipster, you can take that $5 to $10 grand and just go buy a different wardrobe, and you can be pretty hipster.
You just go to Goodwill and buy a hipster wardrobe.
Dude, I was at this coffee shop with my wife, and I saw this guy walk in, and he literally had the same shirt my dad wore when I was a kid. It was like an Eddie Bauer, but not the recent Eddie Bauer, the older Eddie Bauer with like the little fish on, like the salmon fish. Anyway, it was very impressive. So let's get into the promos because no one cares about my story. So the first thing we want to tell you about, if you live on the East Coast and you think that you are good at CQB, let me encourage you and your buddies to sign up for our True Indoor Tournament. It's actually a super cool deal. If any of you are unaware, True is a Tactical Response Unleashed, is a field that is very close to our GI Tactical East Coast store. And what we're doing is on April 6th, we're going to have a 5-on-5 tournament. Now, it's not just going to be like where you pay a certain amount of money and you're not going to get to play because you lost. What's going to happen is it's a double elimination tournament, which means that you're going to play at least 2 of the 5-on-5 games. At the same time, throughout the day, if I'm looking at my list correctly, there are
3 mega games.
3 mega games, which is 25 on 25, and you get to play, you get to hang out. It's going to be a sweet, awesome day of Airsoft, and it's really the first tournament-style Airsoft day that we've ever played. Now, to be fair, Because Airsoft is a game of honor, it is a game of respect, and it is a man's game, there will be no prizes. It is simply, how did you say it earlier? It is simply,
It is for honor and glory.
there it is. So you actually, and the first place team will actually get a photo of their team on the GI Tactical website, which
that is the real prize, I guess. So for bragging rights and again for glory, there will be a photo on gitactical.com of the winning team.
But real quick, for all of you who are like, well, what's the rate of fire? What's the, all the big questions that everyone always asks? There is no rate of fire limit. However, there is a chrono limit of 350 with 2 O's. So if you think you are a speed freak and can just rock and roll in CQB, let me encourage you to go sign up and get like 4 of your friends. It's if you price it out, it's only $25 a person. So
actually, that is the normal entry fee at Tactical Response Unleashed. So you're essentially buying, a ticket for yourself and 4 other friends, like you said. It doesn't cost any extra because we got a really good deal with Tactical Response Unleashed to hold this event at their field. So you're gonna have a great Airsoft GI event. And have a great day of gameplay as well as a fun day at Tactical Response Unleashed. And what's cool about this is that, some fields when you pay for entrance, it's not necessarily like a full day of gameplay, but this game day, if you're going to stay all day, is 8 hours of game time. So it's pretty cool.
It's really solid. The guys at GI Tactical have done a good job putting this all together. We're really excited on the West Coast. We won't be able to go to it, but we are really excited to see what they do and to hear about it because we've always run big games. Funny questions? Should we take a break and answer a question?
Well, I actually just want to say before, I've actually played at Tactical Response Unleashed, as has the CEO of AirsoftGI.com. It's a really good field because we've worked with them to expand their field as well as change it around to make it a little bit better for Airsoft gameplay because originally it was a law enforcement and hand-to-hand combat training facility, but when they integrated Airsoft, they realized that there was actually a very good market for indoor Airsoft gameplay. So they've changed it a lot, and they've also added what I think is really cool. It's actually a 2-story, half of a house next to the wall. And I love slides in Airsoft fields, and they have a slide there, so that's pretty awesome. Also, I would highly suggest if you're going to this event or if you just want to play Tactical Response Unleashed, get some grenades. We've got a great deal on Airsoft Innovations tornado grenades. And also, spring shotguns, those tri-shot shotguns, are epically useful on that field. It's close quarters engagement, and the spread on those tri-shot shotguns is perfect for that field. Just a suggestion.
So be sure to sign up, check it out, go to our ticket section of our website, get 4 of your buddies. It's really a cool deal, and you definitely want to be a part of it because this is you can say that you were part of the first ever inaugural Airsoft GI tournament because we've never held a bracket tournament. So, speaking of the East Coast and GI Tactical, it's a little further away, but if you are around the Richmond area, or if you're not and you like driving, you should hit up GI Tactical on April 19th because we actually GI Tactical has been open for a year now. So we are having an anniversary sale for GI Tactical, and there's going to be all of the stuff and more that you usually expect. So you're going to get 20% off in the store. You're going to get a raffle, as well as there'll be goodie bags, and there'll also be representatives from local teams and fields there just hanging out, chilling out, and it's going to be a really fun day. And we all kind of want to make it special for you as the customers. So be sure April 19th from 9 to 5 p.m. To be at GI Tactical. It is our anniversary sale. We're really grateful that the store has been able to be open and grow, all because of you guys. So be sure to be there, 20% off. It's going to be awesome.
Also, if you guys haven't met any of the GI Tactical staff, they're great folks. Ed the Meerkat, actually commands the British side, the British Reclamation Force on some of our games. He's a great gentleman. We also have tech certified by Frank Chu, F. Chu himself, over there. I believe his name is Zach, does great work. And generally just the entire staff there. I remember Mason as well. We also have Commander Chaos out there who commands the American side. But just go and say hi. They're really great, great friendly gentlemen, and they serve the Virginia community very well, and couldn't be prouder of them. There actually is one question, if you scroll up a little bit, Ross, that is uniquely directed towards you. It has some asterisks around it. And forgive me if I jumble a lot when I speak, because my tongue got sewn back together.
I enjoy this question. Hey guys, actual question. What camera equipment do you use filming your videos? I am a rising YouTube Airsoft channel and want some tips.
That is from Eric Wynn.
Eric Wynn, you are speaking my language. What I will say right now, because I have some other things I need to talk about, but I do enjoy cameras. Our primary camera is a Canon 5D Mark III, and then I use my own personal Canon 7D. They're all HD DSLRs. We don't have any true video cameras per se, but it is capable of shooting, just the regular HD and then 720 and all that kind of stuff. So Canon makes some really nice products. I have a great desire to check out some of the other products on the market, but yeah, so that's what we use, and that's a great question. I always enjoy talking video and video production. So anyway,
I actually do want to make a quick mention of the camera we're using right now, because you may notice that on the left side of the screen for you guys out there, Ross is in standard definition, whereas right here I'm in high definition. That's because of the Logitech webcam we have. Also, the sound is a little bit rough. So it's a bit different for if you want to do a live show as opposed to actual, just shooting YouTube. So yeah, that's what's up with that.
Additionally, we also have been moving to GoPro, as Condor had a little hiccup with some of their
Contour.
Oh yeah, sorry, Contour cameras had a little bit of hiccup with some of their supply, so we moved a little bit to GoPros, and I think those cameras are some of the best small cameras in the market currently, and they're great for head cams as well as other awesome things.
I actually still prefer the Contours just for my face mask, because it lines up really well on the outside of my face mask. But I got to tell you, I actually bought a GoPro myself right before I went to the Philippines and Korea very recently, and I was amazed by all the different functionality you have on the GoPros. Like photos, you can take photos in bursts, like 10 in 1 second, which I get a little crazy with, just like taking photos of waves. So it'd be like,
and that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
And for those of you who care about HD and 4K and 2K,
yeah,
the
Black Edition
3 Plus Black
yeah.
shoots 4K at like 12 frames a second, which is not really usable for video, but it's still super cool. And I am anticipating that in the next couple years, probably not even that, in the next year or so, we're going to see 4K coming out of super tiny cameras. And let's move on to promos, because once again, you probably don't care about that.
Okay.
Bob, would you like to talk about our Google Plus and product review giveaway?
Yes, we actually have 2 giveaways going on right now. If you are not aware, Airsoft GI has a Google Plus page, and if you log into or create a Google Plus account and go out and review AirsoftGI.com's Google Plus account, you'll be entered into a giveaway for the Google Plus page. Now, it's important that, one, you put your email at the end of that Google Plus review, so that if we choose your review as a winner, we can get you the prize, which is, I believe, a Well MB08 full metal bolt action sniper rifle. Now, it's a $150 value. It's a good, God, I'm just almost burping every time. It's a really good way to get into sniping. It's an entry level sniper rifle, but it's a really good way to get into it, and also have some fun playing around the backyard or a recreational field. But the thing about these Google Plus reviews is we're not like begging for good reviews. You can give us, a positive review, a neutral review, a negative review. Just give us your honest opinions and thoughts, because what we're trying to do is improve the experience for the rest of our customers, fans, and, well, just everyone in the Airsoft community, because we want to continue to serve you guys better. So, just give us your honest opinions. We're not asking for, how am I say that better? I mean, we just want to hear your honest opinions. That's all.
I want you to tell me that we are the best Airsoft company in the entire world, and that you think we're better than everyone else.
Okay.
And I don't want you to be biased. I want you to be biased. I don't want you to be objective.
Okay, well, look, how this contest is going is that, the winning review isn't necessarily going to be one that's completely positive or completely negative.
No, we actually, and complete contrary to what I said, we do want your honest
okay,
opinion.
thank you.
Because we won't get any better without it. So,
yeah,
as Bob was saying, please give us your honest opinion. And at the end of the Google review, please leave us your email so that we can email you if you win. It's going to be random, very arbitrary. So anyone has a chance of winning. Now, the thing is, if you post on Google Plus, Google does not allow you to do 2 reviews as per their algorithms. However, if you have bought products from us, which if you're watching, you most likely have, be sure to do a product review. And in this case, you can do as many product reviews as you would like, and you can still, every time you review and then email us at submit@airsoftgi.com, you can be entered to win.
So basically, the more product reviews you do, the greater the chance you will have to win, again, another Well MB08 full metal bolt action sniper rifle. Now, these, for at least the product reviews, like, these have to be legitimate reviews. Again, we're not asking for, like, oh, say this is the best gun ever, or say this is the worst gun. We just honestly want to hear your legitimate opinion. If you own or have used a product, then that's a product you should review. If you don't own it, or you've never even seen it before, you probably shouldn't review that, because we generally have a pretty good way of like spotting those out.
What I don't want to hear is that you use this gun while riding a unicorn over a rainbow into the Netherlands.
Again,
we want to hear actual good reviews, not because we have had people be like, well, I used this gun when I was hunting leprechauns in the northern regions of Greenland. Let's answer a question, because I feel like we should do that.
Yes. Tate Bentley. Bob, my friends and I just started a team. Can we have a shout out? We really want to improve the sport and to make a difference and influence people to get into the sport. You didn't say the name of the team, but Tate Bentley, shout out approved.
To your team. Let's go. Before we get into our last couple things, I want to show this G4 because I'm very, very impressed with it, and we showed it a little earlier, so I would like to whet your appetite even more.
Can I at least tell them what it's called?
Sure.
All right, this is the Airsoft GI Custom Triple Threat G4 AEG Airsoft Gun Package.
Do you know what a real triple threat is?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Like basketball?
Oh, I'm thinking of like in the entertainment industry.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but
Okay.
I was going to say, if for any basketball, triple threat, you have the ball here, you can shoot it, you can pass it, and then you can dribble. Like a triple threat.
More of a baseball guy. So. Yeah.
Well, this is the home run of baseball.
We do have March Madness going on right now, though.
We do. And go Arizona. So.
I actually have them in my bracket going all the way to the end.
No way.
Wait. Well, it's not ASU.
No, that's what I'm saying. Go U of A.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't hear you say that. At Ross, Panasonic just unveiled a wearable 4K camera that films at 30 frames per second.
What?
That's the gentleman that did the Bob the Axeman ballad.
Is it the wearable? I wonder what. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but what is the codec that they use? Because I know that. Once again, no one cares. But who was it? It was someone. There was a. It was either Panasonic or another company that unveiled a 4K camera, but the way it shot and the file system was really backwards. So your workspace was really. Or your workflow was really complicated and long, but I can't remember what that is. Anyway, go ahead.
Tate Bentley just told me the name of his team. FTB Airsoft, shout out approved.
Nice. So going into this G4, this is obviously the first the standard model that it comes. It comes as a CQB ready G4. So the lower is polymer. And then the rail is a Mad Bull Strike Industries key mod. So actually, most key mods are smooth here on the metal, and this one actually has cool little
grooves for. I assume it would be added retention because it allows you to grip a little bit tighter.
But the gun looks awesome. You know our G4s. You know they're super solid. But this is the thing that when he brought it in, I was like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. This is what makes the gun and actually the package even better. This is the
carbine upper.
Carbine upper, which, as you'll notice, it features the same Strike Industries rail. However, it's longer, and it actually comes with. It doesn't just come with the rail and the upper receiver. It also comes with a barrel and hop-up chamber, so that
comes with a B2 front sight, lollipop rear sight, and a G&G M4 M16 hop-up unit. And if basically this original CQB version shoots at 300 to 330 feet per second, the carbine upper shoots between 370 and 380 feet per second, meaning basically if you crack this gun open, take off the upper, put that one on, you're going to be able to go from from CQB gameplay to field FPS in the same day. Nay, I say within the same 5 to 10 minutes, which is pretty amazing.
And then lastly, and this is what makes this gun even doper, is that it comes with a DMR / probably not sniper, but more of a DMR SPR build, and you can just basically take off a pin, take off your upper CQB or carbine, and then stick this bad boy, which also comes with a longer barrel, a longer rail, and a longer outer barrel, and you can be ready to go. And go ahead.
Now this one actually comes with obviously the G4 black up receiver, Mad Bull Strike Industries 13-inch key mod rail system, JG 20-inch outer barrel, which can
show. I wonder if I can show. Oh yeah, there you go. You can kind of see
the grooves
on the URX rail.
Yes. It also comes with an Airsoft GI PE 6.03 millimeter inner barrel, 510 millimeters long, which is great because, for DMR style build, you're obviously going to want a better inner barrel. You also get an Echo 1 SPR gas block, a B2 front sight, lollipop rear sight, as well as the G&G hop-up unit that we previously mentioned. So once again, well actually not once again, this the DMR version of this 3 upper setup actually shoots between 390 to 400 feet per second, getting that much closer to the 400 feet per second field limit. So you're going to have a wide array of options with just one gun, and this is actually the first time I have seen a gun like this come out of the GI Tech department, which is pretty darn cool. I'm glad they're always pushing the bounds. We have definitely a lot of experience here at AirsoftGI.com, which the tech department as well as the rest of our departments continually rely on.
And one of the things what I found out man, I just stuttered all over myself.
Yep. Embarrassing.
One of my favorite things about this gun is the fact that it's at a very, I think, reasonable price point, because for only, what is it, 9? Is it 8?
The full price at Airsoft.com for the setup is $795.99.
So for under $800, not only do you get 3 URX3 rails, 3 barrels, and basically you get 3 different guns,
3 different uppers, with 1 lower.
But you can it'll look like 3 guns. Your friends will be like, "Oh, cool!" Like you can be the cool kid that walks out, and it comes with a hard case.
Oh, I didn't see it on here. Oh yeah, it does say hard case. And the cool thing is, like, I would just not tell my friends that I had this specific type of gun. I would just switch it without them seeing it and be like, "Wait, didn't you have a shorter gun before?" Like, no, it's always been the same. You just kind of screw with their heads. Anyway, it is worth noting, because I do say it's on a lot of custom guns because it continues to be true. But if you actually decided to take all these disparate parts and put them together yourself to make the same build, it's good the tech department actually listed this out for us. It would cost you over $965. So you're saving over $170 by buying it pre-put together by our world-class techs. And actually, if you go to the product listing on airsoftgi.com, because I believe this just went live on our site, it actually shows you a lot of the prices for all these different things they used to build it. So you can actually add it up, and it adds up to over $965. So for $795.99, damn good deal.
Smoking good deal.
Mm.
There was a question.
Do you see what I highlighted?
I did not. What did you highlight?
It's not really that important.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Of course you're not.
What I will. There was a question about. Someone asked a question earlier about. That was very Canadian. About
a boot.
A boot.
That's what it.
A big. About what should you use when playing field, like high caps or mid caps? Go.
If I was playing out in the field, I've always kind of preferred to use mid-capacity magazines, just because, especially when I started playing Milsim events, obviously that was required. But I also like that feeling when I have to transition to my sidearm because the enemy is too close or the threat is too present to be able to reload my magazine. It just feels like it's out of a movie. Now, that I don't always do mid-caps when I'm out in the field. Sometimes we do recreational gameplay, or specifically Tim versus Bob events. I'll throw in a high cap here and there just as an all-or-nothing mag if fit is hitting the shan. I just like to switch it up. And also because our Tim versus Bob games are not Milsim, really in any capacity. We just have military-style missions, but there's no magazine restrictions. But yeah, I prefer mid-caps for milsim operations and other outdoor games.
Speaking of milsim, and that's why I was going to move on to this. However, I did want to mention that I always prefer to use high caps because I feel like I can pwn more fools. So that's always what that's my objective when I play. However, speaking of milsim, I found this in our new products section. It's going to be on our website very shortly, and I thought I would show it to you because someone hit me up on Twitter asking me, I can't remember their username, but they showed me a helmet like this that had the cutout for the Ear Pro, and I just wanted to show this all to you because I think that this kind of helmet, which is it's Spartan. The Spartan Headgear IBH type helmet, and not only is the color scheme and the paint job really cool, but the cutout for any of you guys that wear Ear Pro is really going to help you out if you decide to rock like Beltors or anything,
Swordens and whatnot. I'm not sure exactly or the exact type of Ear Pro that does fit because I don't have any of those anymore. I'm still working on getting a new replica pair just for my helmet in particular. And actually, I do like to say something about the paint job because I do think they did a pretty cool job with the paint job. Because when I painted my fast type style helmet, I actually wanted that two-tone look where the helmet itself is painted but the rails are not. I think it looks a little bit cooler personally.
I'm trying to envision how big.
You'd have to adjust that.
Yeah, I have a really. Yeah, that's just not going to fit me.
No, anyway, it will. You'll just have to adjust it.
Be sure to look for this on our new product section if you don't already visit that on the website, because that helmet's really cool. It's not just a standard fast helmet or anything like that. So be sure to check it out. It's pretty cool. However, I have also seen people that take just regular fast helmets, do their own paint job on them, add their own Velcro, add their own rails and their own NVG mounts, and excuse me, it looks awesome. So be sure to check that out. Are we missing anything before I continue?
Put this back over.
Oh, you know what, Bob? Speaking of mid caps, would you care to talk about our CQR Mod 1s?
Yes, we actually have a special deal going on AirsoftGI.com. We have some CQRs available. We until recently had a bunch of different patches available, but for some reason the past one day they've all sold out. So there's been a run on those.
Yeah.
But we have a very special package available. It's actually a CQR that comes with, in addition to the one magazine that comes with the gun, you get 2 extra mid-capacity magazines for a total of 3 mid-cap magazines right out of the box. Now, these are actually the KWA polymer mags, so not only do they work really well with that gun, they also look really cool. In my honest opinion, I think they look awesome. So yeah, with the CQR, you're going to have 3 mid-capacity magazines from KWA. Those are really legit mags, and honestly, that's a really good deal, especially for a starter package or even a mid-level entry package, because the gun itself, if you're buying it by itself, it's under $200. But with this package deal, I believe it's around like $200 or $205, which is still really great for getting into airsoft or even getting a mid-level package. I mean, besides like eye protection, BBs, battery, obviously, you really don't need much else. I mean, you could probably get an extra mid-cap or a high cap just in case. But with three mid-capacity magazines, if you're going on semi or even full for a short game, that's pretty much going to set you right.
That's really good, and you'll also be that cool guy that like. I see it's really hard when you're first starting airsoft to really deck out your plate carrier.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 2 additional mags in your plate carrier or your chest rig or your dump pouch or whatever you have, you'll look like the cool guy on the field because you actually have extra mags, whereas everybody else is just running with 1 high cap. I saw it. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's also nice because sometimes when you buy the CQR, you have the 1 polymer mag, but I just really like the KWA polymer mags they came out with. So the fact that you have 3, I think just looks a little bit cooler.
For shows. There was a question that we have been getting, and it actually goes into something that Bob was wanting to share with all of you guys. Bob, this is from TCLJR. Bob, what is the process for sending my gun into the tech department once you pay the fee for the tune-up? If you would please enlighten us, and we can talk about this.
Wow, I just stuttered. I can actually say this directly from the website, because I copied this down because I wanted to talk about this. If you purchase a tech service and plan to send your airsoft gun through the mail to us, please call Airsoft GI during our business hours to receive shipping instructions. Our contact number is 909-869-0671, and our hours of operation are Monday to Saturday, 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Please do not ship your guns or gun to us without calling. It's really easy to get our customer service on the line, and they are incredibly helpful because I believe just about all of them play airsoft as well. So if you have any problems, they're going to know more or less what you're talking about and how to deal with it. So yeah, if you have any questions regarding tech stuff or anything else, make sure to give our customer service a call, especially if you're shipping in a gun. I want to mention one thing. Guess who's here?
What?
Who's in the chat?
I have no idea.
BL Tech. What's up, guys?
Oh,
Shout out to all airsofters in New Zealand, I believe. Go back up.
BL Tech, huh?
Yeah. Wait, New Zealand. And since it's them right there, BL Tech.
Wow.
See? And since they are here, I was actually just talking to a gentleman about this on Facebook. Sorry to interrupt you with a long tangent.
Okay.
On our last live show, we had the Airsoft GI Techs in here, and someone on Facebook recently requested we do more UK or Commonwealth type loadouts and or guns. And I told him, I was like, yeah, on our last live show, one of our techs actually made an NZ-SAS gun, or an NZ-SAS style gun that he built after researching it on the interwebs. And honestly enough, while we were in the live show, someone called to specifically purchase that gun on the spot. So that gun is already out the door.
That's not the L85. Because they also built...
Not the L85.
No. But speaking of British people, though, they also just recently bought the L85.
Oh, the L85 Bulldog?
No, they didn't buy it, but it's on our website.
Oh, okay.
And you should check it out because it's one of the coolest custom... Not the coolest, but it's a very cool custom gun that not a lot of people in the States have, at least.
No, because it is themed after the British Army. Now it is actually, in my opinion, the coolest L85 we have had here because it does have a pretty awesome rail kit, as well as I believe it's a replica scope that is issued to soldiers of the United Kingdom. Let's see.
For another film question, we use After Effects and Premiere with the Adobe Creative Suite. Moving on. Can I get a shout out?
Sam Schroed. Shout out approved.
Let's see. All right, you know what? Let's move on to
That's a good question.
Which one?
XLEGIT. Well, just that one.
The Prodigy?
Sure.
X Legit Prodigy X?
I'm embarrassed. Bob, Orga, Miracle, or tight bore barrel? Ooh, very good question. Do you want to answer first, or you want to let me go?
I'm gonna approach this question because there is a variety of ways to approach this question. Um, there should be a subsection of this question that has the caveat: do you use a Polar Star? Because if so, that's a different question. But for the average, don't even. For the average airsoft user, I'm going to say Miracle Barrel only because the drop-in feature about the Miracle Barrel is what is easiest. And I personally, I'm not going to speak for anyone else. I think the Miracle Barrel is a little better than the average tight bore. I'm sure there are plenty of people who would disagree with me, and I'm not speaking conclusively for all of time, but what I am suggesting is that the Miracle Barrel is one of the easiest and best upgrades for an average middle-of-the-line AEG user. However, I also have seen Orga barrels on Polar Stars do crazy good things.
Yes. I've actually have experience with the Orga, Miracle, and Type Bore barrels. I have installed Type Bore barrels myself and have had Miracle barrels installed for me, which is really simple, so I should have done it myself. But my opinion over all three of those is I would honestly go with the Miracle barrel because I was very surprised at how much having a Miracle barrel affected the left to right deviation on my shots. There was, I don't want to say there was none, but it just narrowed it down to such a small margin that I was shocked and impressed because I took an very old Tokyo Marui AK that was I guess redone and made functional again by the Airsoft GI tech department, specifically Aaron, the head of our tech department. He got that gun up and running and put in a Miracle barrel, and I took that to Irene and rocked house with it. I also was able to see Josh rock house with the Orga barrel in this Polar Star, and that's how I learned about Orga barrels because it essentially creates a cushion of air around the BB, so obviously it's not hitting the barrel, which will affect your accuracy. So it creates a cushion of air around it so that it is accurate as possible. That's why at least the Orga barrel that he had was a wide bore barrel, and he was able to achieve unheard of ranges for me. I was shocked that he was able to get to hit people from so far away. In fact, there were folks that were waving at us that thought that he couldn't hit them, and then he ended up just knocking them out of the game. So
it was great.
Yeah.
And actually, here's another great question. What do you prefer, holographic sights or red dot sights? I'll let you go first.
All right, I prefer red dot sights, namely because most replica holographic sights aren't necessarily available on the retail market anymore for significant restrictions. But I also do like red dot sights because you can actually see around them a lot easier, especially the replica T1s. Or micro red dots, it's a lot easier to see the field of view around the sight and still have that red dot in your sight picture. So that's what I prefer, but I have noticed that over time when I use the same gun time after time after time, I end up generally not needing red dot sights because I've used the gun so much, I know exactly where it's going to shoot. And also another caveat to that is if you are playing CQB or if you're in a low light environment, if you just flick your flash on for a second and fire, you're going to see right where your Airsoft BB is landing. So that also helps there, but I will say sights do improve the look of the gun, and that is the main reason why I would want a holographic sight is because I think it makes the gun look so much cooler. But for effectiveness, I would choose a red dot. Actually, I would also like to have like maybe a magnified sight with a little red dot riser on top or a little red dot mounted on top. I've seen a lot of those lately. I don't own one personally, but I'm looking into getting one. So
I grabbed the wrong thing.
Yes, you did.
But I would probably also echo Bob's sentiment. We did an NC Star video, which you should check out on our YouTube's channel, and they had one of the red dots with a laser.
Oh shoot, I really want to mention that. I can't believe I forgot it. Yeah, on that NC Star video, which I think we just released it like 2 to 3 or 4 videos ago, you should check it out because it gives you a wide variety of sites that is available from airsoftgeo.com from NC Star. But I actually own an NC Star Vism site that is a micro green dot with a red laser. And why I like that is because for CQB, 1, the green dot looks awesome. 2, again, it's a micro green dot, so it doesn't take up much of my field of view. But on a riser, I'm actually able to use it with my mask on, which is really important to me. And if I don't feel like getting settled in right behind the red dot sight, I can also just leave the laser on, which not only is it much faster to acquire my target, but if there's smoke or any sort of, I don't want to say inclement weather, but generally smoke on the airsoft battlefield, it looks really cool. So,
Smoke on what? Smoke on the water? smile.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. Just I like to give you like the stone cold face when you make jokes after that one you made a while back, buddy.
I don't remember which one that was.
You don't remember?
I make a lot of bad
Oh,
ones.
oh yeah.
So check this out. This is actually, speaking of scopes, this is a new scope that will be going up on our products soon. You want to look through it?
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool. That would be...
There we go. Is this the one? That is still the wrong side. Is this the one that you were talking about that had the laser on the inside?
I don't know. Potentially.
That's pretty clear, even with the caps on. Okay, so there's a 3x42, which means it's already 3 magnification. Oh, and it has a quick attach-detach thing. I really like that on scopes because it's just really nice in case you are on the field and you really just get fed up with having either a little bit extra weight on your gun or you want to switch out a scope. This quick detach feature is really nice. But yeah, this is actually a pretty darn nice scope, and I really do like NC Star's Vism line of optics. So pretty cool.
Here's a question. Do you go fixed zoom or do you go variable zoom? Because you come from a sniping background. I'll take it from you, actually.
Okay.
And so you come from a sniping background, and I come from, I come from more of like a...
Paintball.
Yeah, or I was going to say run and gun, but...
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you are a run and gun dude.
So I would much, I'll just take a standard red dot, or even actually, this is pretty nice, I got to admit. I mean, the image is clear, the reticle's clear, so it would make, if I put this, like, let's say I took this upper and stuck it on, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to ruin it. But stuck it on, that would actually look pretty dope.
Yeah, no, that would look good.
So,
as far as my opinion, if I wasn't able to have a variable zoom, I would want a fix, like either 3 magnification or 4 magnification with a red dot on top of that scope. But I would prefer variable magnification, especially for sniping. 3 to 9 is good, but realistically, I'm only going to be using probably 3 to 6 magnification. Any more than that, it's, in my opinion, it's not very effective for anything other than spotting. But yeah, for airsoft sniping, usually 3 to 4 times zoom in case the target is really close. 5 to 6 if they're further away and you think you can hit them. At least that's what I have found to be effective for my bolt action gas sniper rifles. Now, for let's say a DMR build where you're gonna have follow up shots, it depends on what your I guess you believe your effective range or the range you want to engage in. Some people prefer fixed magnification, but I prefer to have options if at all possible.
It's good to have options.
Agreed. All right. Hey, Bob, can my team get a shout out? Syndicate Airsoft. Shout out approved.
Whoa, slow down.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Okay, here we go. G&G Raider, Classic Army Scar L, or a Lancer Tactical PDW for upgrade to Milsim. From Carter Zane. Want me to go first or you to go first?
Why don't you go first?
The question is budget. Because...
That's not really a question. But.
No, I mean, because I will admit the Lancer Tactical PDW for, what is it, like 105?
Well, they also have a metal version for, I believe, just under $200.
The $200 full metal one. Well, depending on where you're going, I would definitely say that the G&G, if you buy a G&G, it's a little more expensive, but the G&G does have a pretty good, reliable lifespan. However, the Lancer Tactical is also a good gun for players that are starting out and maybe want to try to get into Milsim and want to look legit, but can't go out and buy all the real steel equipment that some of the Milsim players play with. So, I mean, and the thing is too, a Scar L, that's also a super Milsim gun because that gun looks so nice. And the thing is, you can't do quite as much upgrades to it, but you also can't do that as many external upgrades. Sorry, I mean external upgrades to a Scar L as with a PDW. So I don't know.
I would actually, I mean, I'd slightly disagree with you on some of these subjects. If I was going to upgrade to Milsim, I would probably go with the Scar L first, then a G&G Raider, and that's mainly because I see the Lancer Tactical PDW, which I really do like. I think they look awesome. I see that as more of a recreational gameplay gun or someone who's operating out of vehicles, a gun for that, because PDWs are generally used for vehicle crews because it's a smaller weapon, easier to fit in the compartment, and easier to use if your vehicle is destroyed or you have to extricate yourself from said vehicle. But I've also taken Scar L on my first trip out to Fort Knox, Kentucky to Operation Irene, and I rocked house with it. It's a great gun, and also G&G makes great guns, which is why that'd be my second choice, but I do like the Scars. Someone suggested Air High 5. Air High 5? Approved.
Yeah, I'm not really a huge. I think scars. Mark has a scar that he is just
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
But I've never actually used one in battle before, so I cannot speak to what it's like to use a scar.
G&J Airsoft. Bob, I'm new to YouTube. Should I use a GoPro or Contour for CQB videos? I really appreciate the help and maybe a shout out. G&J Airsoft, shout out approved. We actually talked about this earlier. I personally prefer the Contours just because it mounts very well to my face mask, and I don't necessarily like the mounting setups for the GoPro. Although, I mean, you can correct me on this, Ross, but it seems like the GoPro footage is a little bit more vivid. I mean, it's hard.
It's one of the questions of like, if you take the newest Contour with the newest GoPro, I think the GoPro is going to win. But if you go back to like the GoPro 2 and the Contour 2, the Contour 2 is still a nice camera.
Mm-hmm.
And so you put those in broad daylight, they're going to perform pretty similarly. It's when you go into low light, which, to be fair, the Contour 2 did better in low light, I think, than the GoPro 2.
Yeah, but we're talking about like GoPro 3s that are now currently available.
Yeah, go with GoPro.
Well, here's the thing for me that I just remembered. This is an added selling point for Contour, is that after I've used a GoPro 3 for a while, I noticed that you have to turn the GoPro on, and then you have to hit a button for it to turn on to start recording. And there's like a lot of, how am I say, time involved, and that's going to take more time to do that. Whereas if you leave the GoPro on the whole time and wait to hit record till just the right moment, you're going to be using up battery time. But with the Contour, you basically mount it on your helmet when you're ready to start filming. You just go, whoop, just like flick the switch once, and it almost immediately turns on, which saves a lot of battery time, saves a lot of film space, or I guess memory space. So at least for ease of use for just filming, the Contour for me beats out the GoPro. But again, you can do a lot of different things with the GoPro, like take photos, take burst photos. You can obviously set it up for different, I guess, resolutions, but you can do that as well with the Contour, but you can do it on the GoPro literally while you're holding it. So
here's a question for us.
Nope.
You were just speaking of scars. If you have a scar, what is the best external and internal upgrades for that scar? For example, how did you run your scar when you went to Irene?
Honestly, and because at the time I wasn't as knowledgeable as I slightly am now with internal upgrades, I was actually rocking it completely stock, with the exception of the fact that I had added, I should switch back and forth between a regular broomstick handle and a grip pod, because for as much as the grip pods look, I want to say awful. They don't look awful, but they just don't look as cool as other grips. They're incredibly functional because a grip, I mean, you know what a grip pod is, right? Yeah. I cannot count the amount of times that I've had to go pretty much prone, and I hit the grip pod, and basically the bipod comes out, and I'm able to use it. It's pretty awesome. And the grip pod's also really handy to use in case you want to set your gun down and not get it dirty. You just put the bipod out, set it down. It's there, rock and ready. Now, as far as the actual other externals I would get, I did use a red dot for that, which is pretty handy because I was engaging folks at range with that scar. But other than that, I would just suggest a sling for the scar.
The one thing I will say is we recently did a couple videos on scars, on the VFC one as well as the WE-AEG scar. And what I will say is that if you take a scar, we have some VFC on our website that are two-tone, and you get like a black upper, and then you get a black AFG, or you get you can two-tone your look with maybe like a tan stock, a black lower, and then like a tan sight with holy smokes. If you make your scar look two-tone, it looks super sweet. That's what I'm trying to get out.
Bingo.
However, Mark is currently here with some products that he is very excited about. Mark is more knowledgeable when it comes to the internals of guns.
What?
So I know, it's hard to believe. If you have any questions, for example, I saw a question in there about a 10-lean motor. I didn't forget about you. Mark's going to come sit where I'm sitting. He's going to show some cool mag tool stuff. He's going to talk about the internals of guns, and he is going to answer your questions. So at this point, I'm signing off, and I will allow Mark. Mark, watch out for the new products that are over here, and please enjoy the show.
Bye-bye, Ross. Bye-bye.
Can I have a playoff, please?
And he's gone. Okay. All right. So we've got Mark on the show. Subtle golf clap for Mark. Now, Mark, actually, we just had a question on thoughts on what internal upgrades you would do to a Scar L. Now, obviously, you don't have much experience with Scar L, so That's a joke. You have a lot of experience. What are just really quickly, because we only have about 17 minutes left in this show, what are some really quickly upgrades you would suggest for a Scar L?
For a Scar Light, depending
VFC.
For the VFC Scar Light, they really have a really strong gearbox. You don't need to replace that.
They do have a strong.
They do have a very strong gearbox. It comes 8mm steel bushings, so you don't have to worry about that either. Depending, you want to go for speed or you want to go for more of a higher velocity, you could look into TNL motors between 35,000, 40,000, or the 45,000. And you can also use different ratio gear sets, whether you want higher speed or more torque. It's up to you. As well as you'll need a higher voltage battery, such as 11-1 LiPo. Reason for that is you can put a lot of wear and a lot of stress on the internal components, so you'll need more power to pull the heavier spring. Or if you want a lighter spring but faster rotation gears, you're going to need more power.
All right. So you have a lot of products to show off really quickly, so let's get them out here and get them in front of the eyeballs of our audience.
All right, so today we're going to start off quickly with some new Magpul USA products. Bob?
Now, I saw this earlier. This is the K2 grip. I was actually thinking about this last night. Now, this is for, correct me if I'm wrong on the terminology, but this is for a higher tang grip, or basically if you have your stock further in, you can get that gunfighter grip where it's much more vertical, correct?
Yeah, pretty much, and it's much more relaxing. Excuse me. I'll just move the case.
Sure.
It's much more relaxing shoot, and it's much more comfortable. I only have something similar on my LM4. That angle difference, it's much more vertical, so it's not a lot of strain on your wrist. If you can see, there's different textures, and these are actually really textured. It's like almost stand your hand, I guess. But
oh wow, that's
nice.
A lot.
It's a lot of grip.
Yeah,
so
wow, that's control. Really easy to hold on to.
So according to Magpul, I believe they say that it's more vertical grip angle, optimized for short LOP weapons, and designed for improved ergonomics. One-piece polymer construction, and there's a storage capability on the bottom of that.
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to hold batteries or tools or whatnot.
Currently, that is in a gray color. We will get them in as well as flat dark earth and black. So stay tuned on our website. But moving on, we do have the AK version of that grip, Bob, by all means.
Yeah, I'm glad they come out with the AK version of this, because obviously on our website we have a variety of AKs for sale, especially PMC style AKs, and you have the same texturization on here and a much higher tang grip on there.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool, especially for you AK lovers out there. We know we always hear, oh, not another M4, and recently we heard not another AK. Some people are just hard to please, but it's really cool that we have these extra Magpul parts in, or more Magpul parts, because it does look a lot cooler customizing your gun.
I believe this will also work with the KWA gas blowback AK, although it's simply made for real AK-47s, AK-74s. But we'll see. We'll give it time to see what they do. If it fits, it most likely will. Yeah, it'll change the look and you'll have better field control, especially if you're wearing gloves. So that's pretty cool. What else do we got? That's pretty much it. All right, moving on. All right, sidestepping from Magpul products, Bravo flashlights, new color, gray. So we've had black and a little bit of tan. So this is the mini scout light version. Pretty cool.
Now it's nice.
It comes with a pressure switch.
Yeah, it comes with a pressure switch as well as a regular thumb switch on here. So you have the added option of either using obviously the thumb switch or the pressure switch, which I like these cool plug-in models because it looks a lot more legit. And also it does come with Velcro that you can attach to your gun, make it easier to attach the pressure switch obviously to your gun. So that's a pretty cool package.
I'd like to add that I'm not usually a big fan of pressure switches. However,
How dare you?
I know, but however, the Bravo pressure switch are made differently. Yeah, I know. But
this is Mark's gun with a pressure switch.
There's a pressure switch, but I had to modify it so I'll get much more sensitivity out of it. But this one, it's really sensitive and it's made really well, so I don't have to worry about it breaking on the field. So kudos to Bravo for making a well-built pressure switch, and the attachment point is pretty solid as well. If you bend it, it's not gonna like fray itself. So pretty good. I expect this to last quite some time on my guns. So,
all right, really quick, because I know you're the right man to answer this. Hey, what do you guys think is the best way to increase trigger response on AEG? That's from Task Force Airsoft. I'm guessing in my head what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Okay. There are different ways to increase the trigger response of your AEG. One of the more simple ways is getting a higher power battery. But if you're a little bit iffy on that part, you might also need to reinforce internals, such as getting a much more torque motor. So what it does is, it's more torque output, And if you're using a much lighter spring, obviously it's going to take less strain on the motor to pull the piston, pull the spring back, and to compress it. So more torque motor, and maybe a different gear set. You can also definitely the Magic Box, higher conductivity wirings, better connectivity, so better electricity running through the gun. There's no brakes, there's no resistance running through, so that will also help. Keep in mind though, if you do that, you will need to change your contacts, not unless you're buying upgrade chair contacts as well. That works. And that's pretty much basically it for now, at least. There's other ways, but you could do that. So.
All right, what other products we got? Oh, also, answer a question. Devin Taylor. Bob, do you even America? Yes, I America very much. All right, next product.
All right. So yes.
Ooh.
Let's see products. I personally have one of these already. I'm glad that we actually got these in. I want to take the box.
This is the one I'm holding is an MOE fixed carbine stock, which I will promptly pull out of the box.
Bob has the one in black. I have the one in black dark earth. So.
Yeah.
So it's similar to the MOE, but it's not retractable, and I do like this because it's just perfect. I have it on my L14. And I don't adjust the stock. It's set at one spot, and surprisingly, this is perfect for it. So you have here the fixed stock, and it comes with 2 attachment points. One for the standard buffer tube that goes around the castle nut, or if you run the Magpul ASAP sling that, which I do as well, you can run this. So it just slings just right underneath. It's simply installed. You just remove the screw and pop it in. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Oh, like most MOE CTR stocks, this butt pad is replaceable. You can use the extended 0.8 of an inch the PRS extended butt pad, so that's cool. It's a little different than the MOE CTR extended butt pads, but hopefully we'll get some of those soon. And yeah, stay tuned to our JTV as well as our Tumblr. I'll be posting pics, as well as Instagram. I'll be posting pics of the gun, of my new custom gun, I should say. So, Bob, inputs?
You know, I hate to be the devil's advocate on this one, but I don't normally like fixed stocks, and that's just because I generally change how I'm running the stock based on where I'm playing. So I do like adjustable stocks, but my favorite stock currently is the one on my L4 PTS, which is, I believe, a Magpul PTS.
MOE stock? Or
yeah,
CTR?
CTR.
Okay.
So I do prefer that, but I like the look of this, and I like how lightweight it is. So.
Yes, it is indeed much lightweight, and it's pretty simple to install. This one will be the mil-spec version. The difference it would be the diameter of the buffer tube, as well as mil-spec version buffer tubes are flat at the end, whereas commercial it's slanted. So it's important to know what you're getting. And yeah, let's see what else we got. That's pretty much it. So. We're gonna answer some questions before I go to my last product day.
Dang, I lost the question I had in my head. So anyway, why don't you get to the next product pulled out, and hopefully I can find this question.
Anyway, cool new product, guys. Yeah, I really like the Magpul and these products. Hopefully, put it on an AR.
Bacon.
I love bacon. What's going on with bacon?
People are asking us to say bacon, so I said bacon.
Bacon.
That's again. All right, Makeshift Army. Shout out approved. All right, that's it for those products.
Okay, now time's going down. Bob, this is for you. And now I just know what you're thinking. It'll be like a Anyway, we just got this in from our purchase team. It may look like another M4, but the beauty is inside. So, Bob.
Well, first of all, this is the Classic Army Colt M4 Standard Carbine. This is a 2014 Spartan version. Now, first of all, you're going to get Colt trademarks, which is awesome. I love having trademarks. Now, as far as the internals, this features a 9mm bearing gearbox, low-resistance silver wiring, torque-up gear set and torque-up motor, 6.03mm tight-bore inner barrel, stainless steel bore-up cylinder, reinforced bore-up piston head with bearings, stainless steel sector plate, quick spring change feature, reinforced spring guide with bearings, mil-spec style slim crane stock, rear-wired, shoots 400 feet per second consistently, and let's see, this price is going to go for, it looks like $215.
I'd say it's going approximately around $220.
Okay,
I'm not 100% sure on that yet because we just got this in probably like 10
we're still trying
minutes ago.
Yeah.
So don't quote me on that. It's going to be around $220, $230 or so. It is a map gun, so For
Wow, so they're selling with all this stuff pre-installed. That's
okay,
really cool.
so I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it's another R4, another classic R4, but no. This gearbox, I noticed compared to other original classic Arm M4s, is sort of like a pre-upgraded gearbox. 9mm bearings. Those are most commonly used in KWA, and classic Arms really didn't come with bearings then. So now that comes with 9mm bearings, that's pretty good. Less resistance, more rotation of the gears. Low resistance silver wiring, better than the original 18 gauge silver that has a lot of resistance. So it's better connectivity, better flow of electricity. So your motor won't heat up as much, and there's not a lot of resistance from battery to motor, battery trigger to motor. So it's much better. Contacts will last a bit longer as well. Torque up gear set and torque up motor. That's a huge plus. Out of the 10 minutes that we received this gun, I put yes, I put 11.1 through it. And I noticed the trigger response on instantly. I barely pulled the trigger and it clicked. So it's really, really good. A 6.03mm type bore barrel, better range, better accuracy. Those usually cost about 30 plus extra dollars. So
that isn't counting to pay a tech to install it. So that's nice.
Yes, exactly. So that's pretty nice. Reinforced bore piston head. That's really good because that's where most of the impact is hitting. Bearings to reduce spring tension when it rotates throughout inside the gun. Stainless steel bore-up cylinder, pretty good, better than brass. Let's see, spring guide with bearings, collaboration with the piston head with bearings, so it's less tension, so spring will last longer. Mil-spec style crane stock. That means I can take that mag pull, MOE fixed stock and drop in this gun, boom, no problem. One last one is rear wired, so you can run simply.
So you can run the battery in the stock.
So and it's much more balanced, especially if you can run changes to rail system, it's going to balance it out a bit more. So kudos to Classic Arm for bringing this out. Yeah, just stay tuned to our GITV, and maybe I'll be doing a review, or Bob will do a review. Maybe some gameplay footage, but we'll see.
All right, so I want to answer a few questions in the 5 minutes we have left. Someone asked earlier, do we carry real steel plate carriers? Actually, yes, we carry a variety of plate carriers that some of which are designed only for airsoft use only, but others are designed by companies that, well, they're designed for basically use out in the real world in combat situations. I personally own a Spectre modular plate carrier that, again, is a real plate carrier. We also sell the Banshee rifle plate carrier. Is it Banshee rifle plate carrier, or am I missing a word?
Shadow tension. No, it's Banshee rifle plate carrier.
Right, Banshee rifle plate carrier. What's interesting about that is those Banshee rifle plate carriers are rated for use by the LAPD. They're also rated for use for Southern California Sheriff's Departments. I'm not going to name off all of them, but one of our friends who used to work here, who is now a sheriff's deputy, has one for when he finally gets out into the field. But someone was asking whether or not they should get the Condor Cyclone plate carrier or the High Ground Gear plate carrier. Now, it's very interesting you asked that specific question. I'm just going to keep going, Mark. I'll transfer it to you. Yeah. We just had a review of a High Ground plate carrier go live on our channel, airsoftgi.com. So check that out. It's a very, very in-depth review. But I would suggest, honestly, if you were suggesting those two, I would suggest you towards the Banshee rifle plate carrier. I think those are great plate carriers. Mark, you actually own one, don't you?
I do own a Banshee rifle plate carrier, and the plate carrier I got was from our sheriff's deputy. So
and he bought another one.
He bought another one. Why? Because there's color regulations.
Yep.
So the one I have is Cody 10. The one he needed was Ranger Green to comply with
Sheriff's Department regulations.
Exactly. So that's good. However, it also depends on if you're on a budget or not. So Condor obviously going to be a little bit more affordable.
Yep.
So I want to go there. It's still a great plate carrier for airsoft. Condor is not bad.
Nope.
I've dragged them. I've literally done crazy stuff trying to break a Condor plate carrier. It's not gonna break unless you intentionally try to like cut it with like some sharp object or something.
Yeah, I haven't really busted any of the Condor stuff I own that I can think of.
Yeah, exactly. I've had Condor since 2008. So, and it's still on. That's the
I did put a Condor jacket through the ringer and did some really stupid stuff with it. And I did screw up some things on it, but I really, really screwed that.
Yeah,
I tried hard.
It takes a long time to break something from Condor, and it's affordable. It's really affordable.
That's the main point.
Condor's good. Banshee's step up, and then how much is High Ground Gear?
Don't know.
Okay,
but you can actually check out the review, and I'm sure Josh actually says it during the review.
Yeah, Banshee's really good. I use it when I shoot with not mine, but my uncle's AR. So I use it on the range stuff, and it's really good. I see when I spend a little bit more money. But yeah, so the Condor, Shellback Tactical, and It's all personal preference. All good product, all great products. So we have them on our website.
I would also humbly suggest the shoulder pads for the Banshee rifle plate carrier. You can actually use those on a variety of different plate carriers. I use the Banshee rifle plate carrier shoulder pads on my Spectre modular plate carrier when I'm rolling with 12 LM4 mags. Because if you don't know, an LM4 mag is actually heavier than a fully loaded AR mag, like a 30-round fully loaded AR mag.
And the weight does not decrease after you fire those rounds. It stays the same. Well, it doesn't stay the same. Statistically, the weight drops by a few ounces.
Yes.
But it's still heavy.
Yes, it is. So when I'm rocking like 12 of those, it can be nice to have extra shoulder pad coverage. But honestly, they look the best on a Banshee rifle plate carrier for which they were designed.
I know Josh used to use it on the Pantech RRV as well, so that works. Also, I know someone that uses it on the Condor MOPC, so works just as well there. So let's see. Shall we answer some questions?
We have 1 to 2 minutes left, so go for it.
I'll go first. Legit Prodigy best internals for high rate of fire gun. Okay. Depending on what rate of fire you want, and there's certain different aspects you can go through, different motors, different ratio gears. If you want a really high rate of fire, you can go DSG setup with a higher output motor and a higher voltage battery. You can get like 50 or 60 rounds a second. Basic stuff, I use a King Arms Infinite Torque motor and 16-to-1 gears, and I'm getting a 35 plus rounds a second with a level 1 LiPo. So simple, but it requires a lot of tuning, a lot of reducing resistance inside the gearbox, lightening the pistons and whatnot to achieve such optimal setup. Bob, your turn. Next question.
Yes, we only have 1 more question left, or time for it. So I'm going to answer the question from Bob, excellent name, Terpstra. Thoughts on the new Tippmann M4? I think it's a game changer. I'm glad we've got a company of made in America products that is obviously making it in America. But also the fact that they've been developing it for 2 years, and coincidentally, they actually got a lot of advice from Tim Sargent, former employee of Airsoft GI.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, who they talked to, I believe, at SHOT Show 2 years ago on thoughts or some changes they should make, and he basically just gave them a laundry list of things that they could do to make the gun even better. So they actually took his changes and worked it into the new Tippmann M4, and I can't wait for it to come to market because it's going to have options for HPA as well as CO2 mags, and that is going to be awesome. Can't wait for it to come out, and cheers to Tippmann for working on that for 2 years. Pretty cool.
R&D takes a long time. So
a lot of monetary investment too.
Indeed.
Yep. Do you have any thoughts on it real quick?
Not at the moment since I haven't done really much research about it, but when it comes out, I will do my analysis of it and I will give it to you guys. So
fair play. All right. Well, that is going to do it for this live show on March 25th, 2014. I'm Bob the X-Man Hildebrand, and this is Mark. And we are going to sign off. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Mark, you know how to close the show out, right?
Yeah. I do. Close. I think we're still streaming.
We're still streaming.
Now we're streaming.
We're not streaming.